Well, hello, everybody. Thank you for joining me on A Sister's Trust. Look at my beautiful bread that I baked at my friend Devin's house. We had so much fun today. We had like a little class, and she took time out of her busy schedule. And her husband took their kids away so that we could have girl time. And we was actually able to bake some bread and learn a lot. I do have to admit, it was a lot to like wrap around our mind because we was doing it in different sections. So the video I put that was before this, it's kind of like me being in class and, all crazy and, foo-foo, and trying to get it done. But I want to break this class down in sections because it's pretty neat. And it's like when she sliced it, it was like real bread. I don't mean like it's fake bread, but I mean you can actually see the different textures, when you buy bread out the store. And that bread, and when you see that woman that's been baking bread for years, and it's just got that certain look about her, and that's what this has. And so this first video, step one, is going to be talking about what they call starters. Now, they call it starters because they, amongst themselves, they share the starters. It's instead of making your own starter from scratch, which takes, evidently it takes like a couple of weeks. If somebody share with you and give you some of their starter that people has been keeping going, it's let you to do all this within 1 to 2 days of baking your bread. So what I want to show you is this jar. This is a jar that we made starter from what she gave us. So imagine in your mind, this was her starter jar. And so from her starter jar, we had to use like a scale to measure out everything in grams, which I've never done before. This scale, when you push the button, you have to push it down to 0. And the amazing thing is, even if you have something that's in your bowl already, when you push down to 0, it only adds up what you're putting in at that time. Don't ask me how is this even possible. And you cannot do it for a diet on your regular body. But anyway, with the starter kits, it's pretty neat. So to make a starter from a starter, we took like from 15 to 20 grams of her starter. So she had a jar, and we took out 15 to 20 grams. We put it in an empty jar, just like this. And we put it on the scale. And so with a spoon, we took it out. So 15 to 20 grams of the starter mix. Then from there, you push that button back to 0 again, in the jar. The jar is still sitting on top of the little food scale. And then you're going to put in 35 grams of flour. And then you're going to mix in 30, you're going to push this back down to 0 again, and then you're going to put in 30 grams of water. Now, once you do that, you're going to get your fork, and we kind of like mixed it up like you was mixing up pancake batter or something. You want to get all of the starter, because you're making the starter. You're making this starter to be fermentation so that you can use it for when you actually start to bake. Right? And the gist of it is you want to keep the starter going. They got a whole thing about feeding, so we're going to worry about that later. So this is step one of making a starter from a friend that gave you some starter. So once you get your starter going, you're going to get your coffee filter, which is this thing. This is just a coffee filter. And we remove the lid from the top of the lid, right? We put the coffee filter on. I can show you this because mine's already been sitting. So we mixed it up. You put your little coffee filter on it, and then you tighten it up because it lets it breathe. That's why we took this off, okay? So once you get the amount, everything is mixed up, you're going to get an erasable pen, and you're going to mark it. So when I did mine, let's see, because since I've been up here talking, mine was marked about right here. So what the goal is, you want to let it sit out on your counter so it starts to bubble and raise. And it's going to make double the amount that you put in. Once he does that, which mine has already done, you just take off the top off the coffee filter. You put your little lid back together. And put it in the refrigerator until you're ready to do some baking. So that's easy. I could tell you this way as step 1. And we'll come back with more because, like I said, if you want to keep this going and you're not baking it no time soon, it's things you do to do what they call feeding the dough or feeding the starter. So that'll be in a different video until we could tie everything together. So this will be step 1, making your starter for sourdough bread. All right. Thank you guys for joining me on the Sisters Trust. I hope going step by step will make it a little bit easier. I had to really put my mind around it, and this is the best way to do it. And so I'll be back with step 2 because we did put some batter together, and I'll explain what's going on with that batter when I get ready to start actually doing the next step. All right. Have a great day, and thank you for joining me on a Sisters Trust.